Happy Halloween! Or depending when you're watching this, Happy Halloween! Okay, you might not actually be watching this on Halloween, but I uploaded this on Halloween. It's my Halloween video. And Ross, Voice of Radio, all that good stuff. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be ranking the top 10 ghost Pokemon. And I'm going to be showing you the best Pokemon TCG card they've ever had. Obviously, there's a large amount of subjectivity in this video. This is my opinion, but if you want to argue with me, ladies and gentlemen, well, that's what the comment section is there for. Let's have a good-natured Halloween argument, shall we? Now, there were a couple that came very, very close to making this list, but unfortunately did fall just a tiny bit short. So, commiserations to Spiritomb and Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak, very, very new, whereas Spiritomb's been around for much longer, and Spiritomb's had some amazing Pokemon cards, like the one from Arceus, for instance, which blocked item cards while helping you to evolve. Love Spiritomb, didn't make the list. In at number 10, we've got PUMPKABOO. I like PUMPKABOO. PUMPKABOO's basically a pumpkin, ladies and gentlemen. How cool is that? Now, I'm going to be showing with you some Pokedex entries here. And PUMPKABOO, it is said to carry wandering spirits to the place where they belong so they can move on. That was the Pokedex entry from Pokemon Y. I like that. It's kind of cute. I can't put PUMPKABOO high on this list. It's kind of adorable, but I still wanted to put it in. The best PUMPKABOO card is obviously the one with Night March. It is still one of the very best decks in the expanded format, being able to do 20 damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile with Night March. It goes along with Joltik to make one of the best Halloween decks we've got, and then of course Dimension Valley brings the attack cost to a more sensible level. In at number 9, we've got COFAGRIGUS. COFAGRIGUS is literally a coffin, and according to the Pokedex entry from Pokemon Black, it has been said that they swallow those who get too close and turn them into mummies. That's a little bit spooky. And then randomly, they like to eat gold nuggets, which to me seems like a bit of a non sequitur. It seems a little bit like, hey, they're going to drag you into their coffin and turn you into a mummy. Oh yeah, and they eat gold. In terms of the best card, COFAGRIGUS hasn't been setting the world on fire, but I loved the one from Plasma Freeze. Once during your turn, you may knock out this Pokemon. If you do, put free damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like, and this went beautifully with the Flareon from Plasma Freeze, which did 20 damage plus 10 more for each Pokemon in your discard pile. So you would get to put free damage counters around while also putting more Pokemon in the discard. I played this and I loved it. In at number 8, we've got Rotom. According to the Pokedex entry from Diamond and Pearl, its body is composed of plasma. It is known to infiltrate electronic devices and wreak havoc. I like the idea of wreaking havoc, but honestly, ladies and gentlemen, it's a ghost that kind of infects technology. It's not exactly the ghost we've ever had. In terms of the best card, it's probably the Rotom from Undaunted, which had a lovely little ability allowing you to switch one of your face-down prize cards with the top card of your deck. Now, this was combined with the Alpha Lithograph that let you look at your prizes, and you would use that in a Durant deck to make sure none of your Durant were prized. It was alright. In at number 7, Sableye. I like Sableye, ladies. I mean, I like all of these. That's why they made the list. According to the Pokedex entry from Ruby, Sableye lead quiet lives deep inside caverns. They are feared, however, because these Pokemon are thought to steal the spirits of people when their eyes burn with a sinister glow in the darkness. They will literally steal your spirit. That sounds a little bit creepy to me. Now, some of these Pokemon you might disagree with the best card they've ever had. When it comes to Sableye, it's the one from Stormfront. It was like over the top brokenly good. You guaranteed to go first if you started with it, you could donk Pokemon, knock them out on turn 1 for a single energy, and you could search for a supporter card and use it for 0 energy. It was awesome. It also at one point broke the Pokemon trading card game. I'll pop a link to that video in the description. Coming in at number 6, SHEDINJA. Now, I'm not actually a huge fan of SHEDINJA, but it seemed folly to not put it on the list. Now, SHEDINJA's a bit of a weird one. Its hard body doesn't move, not even a twitch. In fact, its body appears to be merely a hollow shell. It is believed that this Pokemon will steal the spirit of anyone peering into its hollow body from its back, according to Pokemon Ruby. So, it's another one of these Pokemon that steals spirits. Yeah, I know, they're everywhere, right? Need to watch out for them spirit stealers. Now, in terms of the best SHEDINJA card we've ever had, it's probably the one from Roaring Skies, which for 1 colourless energy did 50 damage for each damage counter on it. But you wouldn't actually use that. What you would do is you would use MIMIKYU to copy it, because MIMIKYU had significantly more HP, so you could get more damage on there. It was kind of fun. It was alright. Never really made it to the top tier of decking, but kind of fun nonetheless. What is kind of cool is that there is a SHEDINJA coming out in the not too distant future, and you can essentially turn it into a life dew. Just giving up 1 fewer prize, so you can turn it into a tool, and I think that's going to end up being the best SHEDINJA we've ever had, because you can turn it into a life dew. In at number 5, a Pokemon with whom many of you might disagree, but I love him. It's DHELMISE. Not the most terrifying of Pokemon, admittedly, but according to Pokemon Moon, the soul of seaweed adrifts in the waves, become reborn as this Pokemon. It maintains itself with new infusions of seabed, detritus, and seaweed. Yeah, it's ghost seaweed, which is a bit weird. People sometimes think that the anchor is DHELMISE. DHELMISE is the weird stuff wrapped around the anchor. It's a little bit weird, but I have a soft spot for DHELMISE, which is how it makes it onto the list. Also, according to Sun, swinging its massive anchor, it can KO a Wailord in a single blow. What appears to be green seaweed is actually its body. And okay, ghost seaweed isn't that terrifying, but I like it, so I'm putting it on the list. In terms of the best card, I mean, the one from Guardians Rising, which was reprinted as a beautiful promo, means that your metal Pokemon do an extra 10 damage, and that's seen some play. But lately, the grass one from Celestial Storm has seen quite a lot of play in Vikavolt decks, just as a good non-GX attacker, so let's use that one. In at number 4, Duskull. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Duskull. Although, to be fair, this probably gets bumped up the list because of my Beware dressed as a Dusclops plushie. He's so adorable. Now, Duskull, apparently, wanders lost among the deep darkness of midnight. There is an oft-told admonishment given to misbehaving children that this Pokemon will spirit away bad children who earn scoldings from their mothers. That classic, if you misbehave, it will come and take you away story. Little bit harsh. Now, we can't really talk about the best Duskull, but I do have a huge soft spot for Dusknoir level X, who is, of course, the fully evolved Duskull, and I don't know if it was the best one ever, though it did see a lot of play. There's been a few good Dusknoir, but the Poker Power, when it would be knocked out, you can put it as a stadium and then put 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's Pokemon between turns. That alone makes me want to put it up on this list. In at number 3, a fairly recent entry, it's MIMIKYU. I mean, everyone loves Mimikyu. Mimikyu's a very popular Pokemon. Now, according to Pokemon Sun, its actual appearance is unknown. A scholar who saw what was under its rag was overwhelmed by terror and died from the shock. That alone seems pretty terrifying. But according to Ultra Moon, A gust of wind revealed what hides under this Pokemon's rag to a passing trainer, who went home and died painfully that very night. A Pokemon so terrifying, seeing it not only kills you, but it kills you very painfully. Yowza. That's a Halloween horror story. Best Pokemon card we've had is clearly the copycat one. Lets you copy and attack your opponent used the previous turn. It's seen play in a whole bunch of decks, like Metagross decks and Malamar decks. Anything that can accelerate the energy to use it in one turn. In at number 2, the Pokemon most of you probably think should be at number 1. Please argue in the comments. It's Gengar, the original ghost Pokemon, although not the most terrifying of them. According to Pokemon Red, under a full moon, this Pokemon likes to mimic the shadows of people and laugh at their fright. And there's just something brilliant about the idea of it frightening you and then being like, ha, frightened you. But according to Ultra Moon, even your home isn't safe. Gengar will lurk in whatever dark corner of a room it can find and wait for its chance to catch its prey. Gengar's always been a bit mischievous. It doesn't seem like the most terrifying of ghost Pokemon, but it had to be high up on this list, and we've had some good Gengar cards. The one from Arceus had a great little hit and run attack, as well as being able to move damage counters. The Gengar Level X had Compound Pain, which spread damage very nicely indeed. You could also unlevel X one of your opponent's Pokemon. But the best one, it's not even Gengar Prime, right? Which with Lost World, we were all worried would literally ruin the game. It never did, but I made a video about it, link in the description. No, ladies and gentlemen, the best Gengar ever was the one from Stormfront. The attack Poltergeist, doing more damage for each trainer in your opponent's hand, was good. Shadow Room, allowing you to drop damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, was good. But the fact that if you KO'd Gengar, your opponent flipped a coin, and if heads, you were KO'd as well, that was truly unfair. I despised it, but it kind of fit with the whole mischievous, annoying persona. But the number 1 best ghost Pokemon ever, come at me in the comments, nicely of course, Chandelure. I adore Chandelure. Of course I do, it's my number 1 ghost Pokemon. And maybe it's just the fact that I love playing as it in Pokken Tournament. Maybe it's the fact that I love the design of an evil Chandelier. I don't know. But I absolutely adore Chandelure. According to Pokemon White, being consumed in Chandelure's flames burns up the spirit, leaving the body behind. This might be the cruelest Pokédex entry we've seen so far. It burns up your spirit and then essentially leaves you as a wandering, soulless husk. That's evil, ladies and gentlemen. As for the best Chandelure, as much as I tried to make the EX work, I failed. It's got to be the one from Noble Victories, allowing you to put free damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon every turn, as long as it's active, was just great. And check out the artwork on the Secret Rare, one of my favourite arts on a Pokemon card ever. Thank you to the lovely AJ Brass over on Patreon for suggesting this video. He's a lovely man. He suggested a great video. And if you want to support on Patreon, go over to patreon.com/PTCGradio. You can get bonus podcasts every week. You can tell me to make videos, etc. It's fun, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, happy Halloween! Give me your own list of top 10 ghost Pokemon in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Go nuts, but I cannot stress this enough. Do be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @WASSY, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGradio. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, because there's more fun over there. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.